No pretending, I don't fabricate or fantasize. Before I execute, I meditate and strategize. Sing your mama roses, hold the pain of passerby. I get the bread, that's the only way I'm pacified.
Carolina born from a Carolina breed. Welcome to Carolina where them boys stack cheese.
Yo, man, that's the deal right there, man. Everything been so, like, informative. When I'm talking about, I feel like you done documented South Carolina hip-hop from, or at least Killumbia hip-hop, and that's something that ain't never really been touched on. I don't want to implore any of you people looking at the show that might got a young dude that's rapping or got a young cousin that's rapping. He might want to tune into this so he can kind of get a history of what, you know what I mean, this Killumbia rap's about, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead and talk about this Killumbia part, man, because that's huge for the city, bro. Like, you put a spotlight on a whole lot of people, bro.
All right, no doubt. Basically, because you asked me, you know, during the break, you were like, bro, I want you to break it down. I appreciate you guys for letting me talk for 55 minutes.
Cut it off.
I appreciate y'all letting me talk for 55 minutes about my history and you know, the things that I went through, you know, coming up here, because to some people it may be important, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys had a platform where I could come and actually talk about, you know, my history and some things that I brought to the table.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's South Carolina history, man.
City history, all that type of stuff. And to give people, like Nori say, to give people their flowers like while they're here. Ain't no need to sit here and talk about what you, man, Big Paul was so big to blah. Nah, we gonna talk about that shit now. Just sound with them, examining everyone's perspective. And this man's perspective right here done been glanced at by like 40 million people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to definitely let you get your rocks off, bro.
All right, no doubt. So what you asked me was in the break, is you want me to break down how pretty much I got in the film and trying to do the movies and web series and stuff like that. Well, I went through a bad point in my life, you know, and I was at the end of shooting videos, and so one of the guys that I used to be with all the time, Big Hurt, you know, I always thought he was a dope rapper, you know what I mean, even to this point. So he was like, man, you got that camera. He was like, bro, your videos look so good, man. I think you can shoot a movie.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta forgive me, man. My allergies going crazy.
Oh, you good?
Gotta keep rubbing my face and stuff. But he was like, bro, I think that you can shoot a movie, and I'm like, bro, you tripping? Do you know how much goes into shooting a movie? And he was basically like, you know what? How about this? He say the story went the other way around.
Yeah.
I remember him coming to me. He said I came to him about it. And you know, that's just one of those things. I'm getting old. I don't remember. I still feel like he asked me. So we went outside. And we sat down on the porch. I had a little duck off over there in Brook Pines, man, paying that $350 a month. I was okay with that. $350. I was paying that $350 a month. I was okay with it. Down in the bottom. So,
damn.
We went outside, man, and he sat on the porch, and he was like, "Run the camera." He said, "I said it," but I feel like he said it. So I just pushed play, and he did a mock conversation, and the conversation was basically him talking to the son of his plug, and the son basically told him that the dad had a heart attack and all the money is his. So he just did the first take for a movie that I shot called Trapped Out. He did the first take right there, and once we took it. At that time I was running Vegas. We took it and I put it in Sony Vegas, and I was like, bro, we could shoot a movie.
Yeah.
Bro, you was right, or him. However it went, we knew that we could do it. So we started shooting like piece by piece. And what I would do is, like, I never heard anybody doing anything like that. So it was like, how can you get somebody to believe in what you're doing? Like, if you say I'm shooting a movie, everybody would be like, yeah, right. So what I would do is, I edited like it was already done. I did the intro, I put the words on it, and I would bring it to you. I would say, like, Yadda, check this out. So you push play and you'll sit there watching my laptop.
So like a trailer for a movie or something.
And you watching the first 10 minutes and I'd be like, bro, I need you to be in it. You were like, okay.
Yeah.
So I locked me in because it was like, I showed you what I could do.
Yeah.
So it was real cinematic. Like, it was real cinematic. And so once we finished with it, and it took about 2 years because I was off and on with it because I wasn't really serious about it. You know what I mean? I was doing other things and, you know, hustling a little bit. So it was like, I would come back and forth to it. So when we finally finished it, shout out to Zach. I put Zach in it because I liked his music. He was one of the dudes when I was shooting videos that I thought could make it. So I remember what happened with Tupac, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me a young shooter in the movie that's doing something with his music. So I grabbed Zach and I was like, yo, come rock with me with this movie. And I showed him. I pulled up on him in the hood with his people, and I pushed play. It was about the whole camp that he had out there. They watched it, and they was like, yo, we want in.
Yeah.
So we went dumb with it. And when I finished, finally finished it, him and Beezy approached me. They was like, big dog, the rest of these dudes, man, they ain't trying to do nothing, bro. What you want to do with this thing? So we packaged it up. Me and Beezy and Zach, we dropped our bread together and we packaged that thing up. I can't speak for what Beezy did. I just know the number that he got. Yeah. The first order that we made, I think we got 2,000 of them. Beezy took 1,000, I took 1,000. I got off 1,000 copies for $20 myself. You ain't got to believe me because I ain't that type of person that care about whether you do or not. Yeah. But I know I sold 1,000 copies for $20 a piece.
Damn right.
I was hitting trap houses. When I walked through the door, people would be like, they ain't even turn around to meet me. They could care less who I was. Yeah. They ain't even turn around. They just put $20 in the air, snatching theirs. I would go to trap houses and there's a TV in the middle and there's 20 dudes and they trapping, watching it. And that's when I kind of knew, that we had something. Like,
quick fans like that, like you said, that's gonna that's gonna change your mindset, right?
And back then I was still, y'all, when y'all met me, I don't know, like I was kind of calm at that time, but certain things I go dumb about, and I got this gorilla in me that come out sometimes. So I started realizing, okay, we gonna get bootlegged. So I said, if you're gonna get bootlegged, the quickest and best thing for you to do is be able to at least go to the people that's gonna bootleg you and make out some kind of situation.
Trying to deal with.
So I strapped up. Right. I got strapped up, and I went to the flea market. I rolled on them by myself. Hey, look here, you got that trapped out? Yeah, I got it. All right, I got this tool on me. Let me get that 50 real quick. I went to the flea market and bought 8 of them. I got $50 for 8 of them. I can't stop y'all from making this 1,000, 2,000. Y'all finna make all me. Yeah. But let me get something to show respect. Yeah, man. And be honest with you, it was only one dude out of all them dudes that didn't want to give me that 50. Yeah. But one of them, Jit, I don't know if y'all know Jit, SHIT. Jit was out there, and Jit said, bro, you better pay that dude. He ain't the one you want to play with. Yeah. Jit was the one you didn't want to play with. But Jit was playing it like, bro, either pay him or something, whatever. So he ended up paying. Making a long story short. But that's how I rolled, and we kept pushing it. So finally, I think it was me or Beezy. I think Beezy was like, bro, let's go, make some money out of this thing. Let's drop a premiere. Yeah. So I was like, man, I don't want to do no premiere, man. Ain't nobody gonna show up. He said, bro, this you, this me. Let's go. So we put it together, man, and we had a great turnout. Yeah. The crazy part is that the movie itself, I don't get into the color thing. I mean, I'm from Indianapolis, man, where a lot of my cousins and stuff they bang Crip, and they're very proud of that. My favorite color, blue. I'm not a Crip. I'm not a blood. None of that stuff. And let's get this straight. I respect them because I understand that they came from a different situation that I didn't come from. I can't speak for why you're doing what you're doing. The only thing I know is that I respect you as a man and do what you do. But at that time, I was surrounded by a lot of bloods. Yeah, okay. So the crazy part is when we had this people turn out, and it was we did it at the Stadium Center, man. There was a lot of people. The Coop, it was the Coop at the time. A lot of people showed up, man, but the blood crowd didn't come because they didn't want to start trouble, and they didn't want any trouble to be at the facility. Word. A couple guys popped up, but I paid security. I paid old guys, and I had some cops up front. I said, look here, anybody get out of line, pop them. Yeah. I pay old dudes. I don't deal with these young dudes. I pay old dudes that was retired military that was chilling. They were looking at girls, waiting for you to get done so they could pop you. Yeah. And these old men, I say, look, let these little young dudes smoke their weed. Don't bother them about that. Even the cops, I say, y'all stay out front. And we had a wonderful time. Word. It was even guys that had beef with other people that when they reached the door, it was like, Paul, we here. And I was like, bro, why y'all came? Yeah. He said, bro, we ain't strapped. We come to have a good time, bro, and celebrate what y'all did. Yeah, bro, the city celebrated when we dropped that movie, and from there I was hooked. From there I was hooked. So that's where the ideals for for filming and stuff like that came. But I retired at the height of it. I was like, you know what? It was a lot of work. I'm retiring again.
Okay, this like a good place for me to interject right here.
Okay.
This is what I want to ask. Right now, you're talking about like the party, the glory side of actually doing it. On this show right here, we talk about hip hop, entrepreneurship, and inspiration.
Okay.
So what I want to talk to you real fast on is how did you go about learning the camera? How did you learn about where your lights need to be set up? How did you go about learning how to write a treatment or a script? How did you go about, damn, do I need a permit to film right here, or can I get it in real fast and haul ass? You know what I mean? Talk just real fast.
I got you. I'm going to start off with the end.
Yeah.
Permits. You got to go do your history. South Carolina, of many states, does not have laws against filming.
No.
So we don't have to worry about that.
Just letting y'all know this knowledge right
here. This ain't
North
Carolina. This ain't New York. This ain't Philly. This ain't none of them other places. We don't have laws against filming yet.
Word.
So this is one of the businesses that a black man can actually do. Any man. But definitely a black man can do without having to worry about being fined or going to jail. Just remember that you cannot. Just remember that you can't be on private property here.
Gotcha.
So we don't have to have a license to film.
Okay.
You don't have to have. It's not against the law for you to film.
Okay.
In South Carolina.
That's dope, right?
One day I'm probably gonna change that. You know, once they see us bringing in all this money. But at this point, we don't have laws against that. So we're one of them states that you don't have to. And what I mean by laws in New York, you have to be a part of a union. You have to be. You can't not be a part. You have to be a part of a union.
Damn.
The reason why is because it's so many people.
There's so much money already involved when they want a piece of it.
And you have to be able to pay taxes on whatever you do. And if you know anything, you got to understand that's mob related.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Organized business, organized crime. If you can't pay taxes, don't do it.
Yeah.
So basically, how that works is you got Jimmy, Mike, Tim, Tom, and Griff. Those are camera operators. You got to use one of those.
You got to use one of those.
And that's right. That's how that goes.
That's crazy.
You can't just pick up your camera and go stand on the corner in New York and record. You going to jail.
Yeah.
Allude to some more of that shit I was talking about.
All right. So back to how I learned how to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
just the backside of it.
This is the thing that this is the thing that I want people to understand.
Okay.
This is before I went to YouTube college. You cannot be scared of your craft.
Okay.
All right. I knew I couldn't handle that program. I knew I was scared of it. So the only thing that you can do back then it was reading the manual. It wasn't YouTube. So I had to read the manual and learn how to do this stuff. Man, whatever it is you want to do, if it's a new TV, open up the manual and read everything that TV is capable of doing. And that's what you have to do. Like whatever your situation is, whatever it is that you're doing, learn your trade. I learned my craft. I read about it. I'm not perfect.
I think you saying something along. To me, it sounds like you saying dissect your craft.
Right.
And learn and dissect to me is different. You got to learn how to dissect. But when you dissect, that means you really taking this and sitting it right here.
But it also showed me, man, like
sitting here in that spot, so you can learn how to go forward. You know,
realized though how he was gonna plan it out. Like you said, he knew he was gonna get serious into it once he realized, like, okay, hey, look,
that's the passion and want to be great.
20 bands off of this here. Let me take this serious now because it is serious. So self-educated himself. You know what I'm saying? Learn.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Coming up with the right game plan for it.
You know, I sat back and it was some weird things going on as far as street life. So, like I said, I retired. But I learned I dissected and learned my craft, and I always
did a lot of retiring, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You done retired about 5 times already.
when you go heavy as I was going, and you talk when I say retirement, I mean I was making good money out of these situations where I could do that. Like when I sat back on that 20, I was like, I'm good. Like I made a quick little 20. I'm working, and mind you, I was working 2 full-time jobs while I was rapping.
Okay.
Like I didn't talk about that. Even when I was hustling, I was working 2 jobs.
Always grinding.
Like no matter what, I was hustling while I was on the clock. Yeah. Oh, you need that? Oh, you need that? Let me make this happen. Even when I was on tour, I was making it to work Saturday morning, smelling like a Budweiser liquor still. And the OGs that worked with me was like, bro, go lay on the couch. Because when you wake up, boy, you finna tell us a crazy story about that. So I always had a support system that wanted to see me win. It wasn't just me. None of the stuff that I did was by myself. It was my support system.
Big, man.
And the people that was around me that held me down. Even at this point right now, for me to record this interview. It's people holding me down right now for me to be able to make it here.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
You know, but
I appreciate them too.
No doubt. It was me basically locking in and learning, you know, the technical side. There's a lot of things that I still have to learn. So how Killumbia got started, again, like I said, I was retired. I was at home, I was frying some chicken, you know, frying some chicken. I had me a drink on the counter.
I don't know why that was funny, man. Part of your food.
Man, listen, man, I'm listening to some good music. I think I had me some good music playing at the time.
Yeah.
I'm vibing, and I get a man who knocking on my door, man. I'm gonna so I pause my music, go to the door with my strap. Y'all know how it go.
Oh, word.
Who is it? It was a dude named OZ LaFleur. OZ LaFleur is standing there with this little small frame gentleman by the name of Porty. They come in and they're like, yo, we want to shoot this movie. I'm like, bro, I don't even know why y'all here. Because I'm retired and you see I'm frying my chicken.
Yeah, chicken up now.
You know, y'all ready to eat some dinner. What y'all want with me? They like, bro, you got the skills, man. OZ was in Trapped Out. He was one of the actors in Trapped Out. So he was like,
so he
was like, yo, I know you can do this, and we got this comedy we want to shoot. I said, man, if y'all don't leave up out my house, man, I'm gonna eat my chicken and I'm good. So I never offered them any chicken because they told me later I never offered them any. But I finished my chicken and I basically ran down this store. Man, listen, I'm not doing it because it's too much work, and y'all don't know how much work is in this thing, and y'all ain't gonna put the work in. So I ain't doing it. So they was like, big dog, we gonna put the work in. We promise you we will. So we got in, we started filming this movie called Welcome to Creekside. I got 45 minutes of the movie filmed now, and it was dope.
You said Weapons of Creekside?
Welcome to Creekside.
Welcome to Creekside.
Instead of me naming it like Welcome to this Killumbia or Welcome to 803, Welcome to North Main, I made up Creekside. It was just a name. I came from Crane Creek Estate, so I just made up a name so it wouldn't bother anybody. You know what I mean? It was like Welcome to this
and it's a Creekside somewhere.
Right. So it was like, I know it's one everywhere. So we started filming it, man, and it was dope. And I started running into these little small problems that I told her that we were gonna have. This movie was taking us time to film. It took us about 3 to 4 months to film.
Yeah.
But if you got dreads, you can't go cut your dreads off. If you got blonde hair, ma'am, you can't go get red hair. And then in the movie, they're supposed to be 2 days. I gotta act like y'all going to get your hair done. And I just, I said, it's so much. I told y'all this was gonna happen. I'm done with it. So to make a long story short, me and Porty, we stopped production.
Damn.
We stopped production, and he was like, big dog, what you want to do next? I said, I don't know, but give me a couple days and I'll think about it. And I'll come up with it. So I knew I could do street stuff. That's without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to turn Welcome to Creekside into a street thing. Matter of fact, that's where the idea came from. So I called Porty, and I said, let's, and we met up, and he was like, bro, we was doing a comedy, though. I said, bro, trust me, we're going to do the street thing. Yeah. And I said, we're going to do a web series. That way, we ain't got to worry about a movie. Because if people mess up or change their appearance, the web series, we can fix it.
Yeah.
And it won't be around the same. I can make it be around whoever I want, whenever I want. I can just make it be about this character today, however I want it to be.
Yeah.
I said, we got more control.
A lot more flexibility.
Right, as a web series. So he was like, I don't care what you do, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's how Porty was with the situation. So we reached back out to OZ, and I guess it was the conversation that I had with me. He wasn't understanding what I was saying. I told him, like, okay, I'm doing this new thing, and it's going to have Porty as a star, and I'm bringing in Victor Stevenson as the other star.
Yeah.
And you're going to be a star of it, but you won't be the main star.
Yeah.
He basically, he called me and he was like, big dog, good luck on what y'all doing, but I'm good, I'm out.
No.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, okay, bro, I mean, you sure? He was like, yeah, big dog, much success to y'all and what y'all got going on, but I'm out. So he basically made me, him and Porty made me go into the mindset of doing it, and he stepped away.
Damn.
His story may differ or whatever, but that's my story. Me and him talked about it.
Things happen, man. Things happen, man.
We put things behind us, but
he sparked that match, though.
Oh yeah. From there, we started filming, man, and I started seeing magic. you know, in the stuff that we were filming. At the time, I was like, bro, we own to something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think the next character that I met that was in line was 3. Rest in peace to my brother. I met 3 in Hollywood Hills. I mean, not Hollywood Hills. I met him in Lincolnshire. And I didn't know anything about the gang culture, like 3 standing for anything to do with the gang or nothing like that. Vic was just like, bro, I know this dude, man. All sets like him. Like every set rock with him. Blood, Crip, folk, whatever. Yeah. They all like him. Like, and he got a good name behind the walls. So when I met him, I was like, okay, what's up? You know, he was thugging. He was out there. And the first time I met him, we went in to film his scene. He had a broke hand from fighting. Like it wasn't a cast on or nothing. It was just a broke hand. I remember my times of breaking my hand and letting my hand heal. So he had a broken hand from fighting that night. And his scene, if you notice, he was dapping everybody down with his wrist because he couldn't use his hand because it was broken. But at the end, I grew up like in today's world. They would say how I grew up. They would say I was a street dude. But 3 was a street dude, and you knew, like you knew what it was with him.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? And before I left, he pulled me aside. This right here, Hollywood Hills, right here where they was trapping at. Yeah. And with tears in his eyes from this gangster, he said, "Man, ain't nobody ever did this for me. Ain't nobody ever gave me a chance." Like when I used to say this, it used to make me tear up. You know what I mean? But he teared up and he was like, "Bro, nobody ever gave me a chance. I ain't SHIT, and I probably never will be." But he said, "Bro, whatever you need from me, I got you. Yeah, like whatever." So I exchanged numbers with him, and he would just hit me on life stuff like, "Big dog, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. But bro, I love you, I appreciate you." This is after my first meeting with this cat. You know, so I met him, and then I started meeting other characters. I knew Bigman from filming videos, Brandon from filming videos with him. And I said, "Man, look, man, I need you to do this parole officer type role for me." So he was like, "Cool." So he knocked it out, man. I was like, "Okay, that's pretty dope." So then I said, "You know, I gotta have a cop." So that's where Johnny came from. And I reached out to him because of Vic. He was one of the people that Vic used to rock with. And I said, "Bro, I need you to play this cop. I saw these little things that you were doing on YouTube, and I think you'll be dope." He said, "Oh, no. I ain't doing no cop." He said, "Bro, I ain't doing no cop." I said, "Yeah, you are." He said, "No, I ain't." I said, "You're going to be my cop." And he said, "Bro, I'm not going to be a cop, man. You know how the streets going to look at that." I said, "Bro, he going to be the star." He said, "What?" I said, "You got to think about all these guys, and you the cop that's hunting them." I said, "You going to be the star." He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "I'm gonna be the star?" Yeah. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay."
They changed that mind. They changed it up.
He said, "Okay." Okay. And we started production, man. We started production with a 5D. I used to just be out there, the sound coming straight out the camera. And shout out to Canon for having the best sound coming through a camera that you can ever get. That camera recorded great sound. Wow. And the first season, well, the first 3 episodes were filmed with $100 lens. I got a $100 Sony lens because 50mm lens offline for $100. By the 3rd episode, I was like, "Man, it just don't look like it need to look." Yeah. I'm like, "Man, come on, man." So I started looking at these lenses. Man, I saw a lens for $1,400 that everybody was using to shoot film with. They shot Spider. Now mind you, the camera that I was shooting Killumbia with, it was a camera that shot Spider-Man 3, so it was a beast of a camera. I just had the cheapest lens that you can get for the beast. So, man, I had to come up with $1,400, man, and I don't hustle anymore. You know what I mean? I'm a legal dude that just work.
You retired,
right? So, exactly. So, you know, $1,400. I'm like, damn, that's a couple paychecks I gotta save to get that done. But if you want something, you gotta get your tool.
Yes, sir. You got to sacrifice.
Right. Yeah. So when we first started shooting, I knew that I was going to change, and I finally did change, and I went and got that lens. So if you look at episodes 3 through about 7, you can see where I had this new piece of glass, and I was learning how to use it. Yeah. So it's a lot of blurriness.
Inside now, behind the scenes stuff right there now.
Killumbia behind the scenes.
Right. Behind the scenes. So from episode 1 all the way up until about 6. It was a lot of blurriness, or a lot of stuff that wasn't in focus.
Why are you in this position right here talking about this in particular segment of the whole show? I wanted to speak like I spoke to you about this off the camera.
Mm.
So I started watching the show and I came across this one scene where, and I ain't trying to get off topic, but one of the stars,
Junior Steve
was in a room, and Steve, I think you said
that's
Steve,
right.
yeah, was sitting on the couch, and he was telling Junior about his problems, and Junior looked over his shoulder and said, "Hey, like, why don't you go to a therapist and get a straight about that? Talk to somebody about it, something of that nature." And Junior looked up at him and was like, "Nah, the fuck you talking about?" Pretty much. But then the camera zoomed out, and then when the camera zoomed out, like referencing Freud here, Sigmund, you know what I'm talking about? Like, he was the one who brought laying in the couch, talking to your therapist, and then somebody sitting in like a recliner listening to you with like a clipboard type mix.
Yeah.
And when the camera zoomed out, you could literally see how you had played it the way you had my man laying on the couch.
Yeah.
But my man sitting in the recliner, listening to
Like
him talk, and he venting to him. He venting to his homeboy, but he don't realize the therapeutic meaning in that.
Yeah.
And dog, I already, from shooting videos with you, I already know your intellectual play on things. I thought that was beautiful, bro. Like, cinematic as fuck. Like, that makes me want to tune in, because it was so early in what you got going on. It makes me want to tune in to the rest of the shit to see how much you done developed.
Gotcha.
Word.
Well, another thing I wanted to just spawn on stuff, you know what I'm saying? We took a little break was what I liked about the show was, like I said, obviously the camera work was real well done, but the characters to me were believable. Okay. So what did it go like? Who was it like? Was it just you, the only one that were like picking out the cast and characters, or did you have help with anybody like deciding what roles were going to be played by who? You know what I'm saying? How'd you go about that? Because like I said, I think you did a real well job. Good job, you know what I'm saying?
Everything is a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I listen to what everybody say. My team will tell you that I don't listen.
Yeah.
They say I don't listen, but I hear every word.
Yeah.
I might not respond to it in a way, you know, but I'm paying attention to stuff. So what I do is, man, I might meet somebody in the grocery store and just like how he picked the box up or like his swag and be like, bro, you ever filmed before? You ever filmed before?
Yeah.
Nah. You know what I mean? But all of that came from 3.
Okay.
No disrespect to nobody else, but me picking the characters came from 3. 3 was my inspiration.
Okay.
The show was okay until I met him.
Yeah.
When the first time you saw him on Halloween Hills and you go back and you watch everything from that point, the show went crazy and went dumb because it made me realize, you know what, in order to get people to watch this show, you got to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So what you see with these characters is me looking at them, talking to them, and figuring out what role they could play. Like, I meet you 2 guys, right? And I leave here and I be like, you know what? Hey, dude probably could do such and such. He could so it came from the village. I ultimately picked the people, but the village, these people are people that people bring around me. Or they might have, like, this person might not have a car, and there might be somebody who drove them. They didn't have any interest in filming. They were just around.
Yeah.
Wow. Like Chino didn't have any interest in filming, but he was a dude they brought around, and man, he used to sit behind me while I was editing. While everybody else outside, for 3 months, Chino sat behind me watching me edit.
Yeah.
You know, these dudes are real loyal to me, so he'll say crazy stuff like, bro, if anybody ever mess with you, I'll smoke. You know, whatever, just stuff like, you know, and I'd be like, bro, chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, bro, you ever thought about acting? Nah, bro, I ain't really. I'm finna write you a little something. Man, I can't, man. You know, so it's kind of like a lot of these people, I kind of pushed them into being in the position that they, you know, that they're in.
Yeah.
That's a gift, though. That's a gift, man. You just see that, you know what I'm saying? It's almost to me like you kind of see somebody and you create a character that is within the character that they already have.
It's based off the personality of the person already.
But that makes it more believable, and that really what sells the show to me.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
No
Definitely, man. Definitely.
No doubt. But each of these dudes, man, like, man, I can't speak for everybody, but man, I done been through a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if I just sit down and tell you, you know, the shootouts, just, you know, court, just all kind of stuff, and it's like I get to tell my story through this in a weird kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, I was 14 years old with an AK. You know, you know, it was just different things. Like my mother, my mother's alive, but she'll roll over in her bed right now if she knew some of the stuff that we were actually out here doing.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up in the crack era, and I don't apologize for that because that was some of the greatest times of our life.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to people when they talk about hustle because they ain't never made $5,000 on a Friday night off pieces.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand what it's like to, you know, y'all know what a crackhead is, but you don't know what it's like to see a dude that's a staple in your community, that got 4 daughters, and you know, in the time of 3 years, he done sold a car, he done lost a house, he ain't got no teeth no more. You know, his daughters talk to him like trash. You know, y'all don't know what that's like. Y'all see the end of it, but we single-handedly saw crack destroy our community.
Yeah.
You know, they talking about Corona, the plague in our community was crack. And you would say to yourself, well, how could they actually do it? It was marketed to our community. If you understand anything about the world, then you would understand marketing. And how it hit our community was through marketing.
Because cocaine was too expensive for our community, so they had to figure out a way to get it in there at a cheaper rate, like you said, because they want to use that as control, man.
That's crazy.
That's just another way to control, man.
So with that destroying our community, that brings us back into what I'm talking about and what we're doing. We're doing a show about some guys that are selling drugs and being very violent.
Yes.
I understood that.
Yes.
But we never came into doing this with the thought of pleasing anybody or the thought of teaching anybody at the beginning. We came here for entertainment purposes. We like Boys in the Hood, we like Minister Society, and we just doing something that we want to do to entertain people.
Yes.
But with any kind of leeway or experience or any kind of popularity, it's going to come some sort of responsibility. Some sort, whether even if it's a small bit of responsibility. Kids watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I had a situation with Little Kane, who was one of the actors in our show.
Was he the one talking to 3?
I'm not sure. I'm be honest with you, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But in his storyline, he went to school. His principal was like, "Yo, I need to talk to him. I need to talk to your producer."
Damn.
Yeah, he was like, "Paul, my principal want to talk to you." And I was like, "What you mean?" He said, "He don't care if I do this show, but respect the fact that I got a life outside the show."
Damn.
That's real life.
This the principal.
That's real life though.
Irmo High School. He was like, "I watched the show, and you bet not be on there doing nothing stupid.
That's what's up.
Do your job as an actor, but I don't want to see you doing nothing stupid. No selling no dope, no having no guns,
That's
and y'all ain't gonna have no problem out of me."
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, Paul. Is he a black dude over there?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of respect that, bro. I mean, no disrespect to what you had.
No, that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
I didn't look at it like
that. That's dope.
And honestly, that move could have kept me out of prison because I know that we're being watched and everybody's watching the show.
Absolutely.
And me having Lil Kane do some wrong stuff in the show could have probably got me in handcuffs. You know, contributing to the delinquency of a minor in some kind of way, even through filming.
You know, get it twisted.
You know what I mean? Right. So, with that being said, man, we all come together as a team. Kenneth Palmore, Brandon. I mean, it's too many people to name, y'all. We just had a meeting, and in this meeting, over 100 people. It's over 100 cast members in Killumbia. I didn't realize, y'all. I would say 30. But it's over 100 people that you see on a regular basis.
Word.
You know, it's a whole. And with that being said, sometimes I might not call you back. Sometimes I might not answer a call. Sometimes I may be, you know, just in another kind of zone. And this is on a regular day. Before noon, I talk to 30 different people before noon, you know, every day. And that's outside of that's not to deal with my job and working and stuff like that. But I'm a very busy person because of this thing. We thought that, I thought, and my son laughs at me about this all the time. The first night we dropped, I thought we were going to get like 10,000 the first year, and I was going to retire again. We got that the first night, the first 2 days, and it went dumb. You guys, we are at approaching 37 million views on Killumbia collectively. We got some episodes.
That again, man. 37 million.
We got some episodes that got like 9 or 10 million, and to be honest with you, I wrote some things down that I want to talk to before I get out of here. All right, so in order to make something happen, man, first of all, you got to dream it. All right,
amen.
You got to dream it, and while you dreaming it, talk to whoever your higher power is about it.
Amen.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm gonna break this down about the higher power thing. I had a issue with not believing in God because I always believed in a higher power.
Okay.
But I said to myself when the Twin Towers happened, what kind of God would let these people jump out this window and smash onto the ground like that?
How could you allow something?
How could you allow that? And what's the lesson in it? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I still don't see it, don't understand it.
Yes.
So that's my skepticism in me to say that somebody who loves us would never let that happen.
Yeah.
So with that being understood, I realize y'all, and I'm gonna say this, man, and I done been through hell, and I could die today, and hopefully I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But I done been through hell, and some way, somehow, I ain't lived through hell though, because God done been with me, man. I'm talking about every step of my life, every way.
You feel
Absolutely.
And you know, I lost my sister, I lost family members,
Yeah.
I lost 3, but God has always been there on my shoulder telling me how to move. Even with this Killumbia thing and us talking about this death and this killing and all this stuff, I had to start going to church because my mother used to say, son, you got to understand it, but I need you to go see. Learn for yourself what we learn so you can, you know, try to understand this for yourself.
I'm with it.
So I went to a church. I was going to college. I wasn't going in there to play around. I want to understand why these people come here every Sunday.
Yeah.
So they had a man's meeting. The church I go to, the man's meeting, it was a room full of about 20 guys, maybe a little more.
Okay.
And they passed around pretty much the proverbial mic. And I said to him, look, I'm from the streets. I always taking care of myself. God has been good to me. I ain't been in a constructed building like y'all doing, but I know God.
Yes.
And ain't now one of y'all, I said this the first time I met this group, ain't now one of y'all gonna tell me that y'all know God better than me.
Yes.
So just understand where I'm coming from. The pastor said, after that thing, he pulled me aside, he said, boy, look here. He said, I like you. You know what I mean? He the first dude that I ever met that wore that cloth, because I've been around a lot of them, that I believe in. And what I mean by that is, I can't tell you what religion is and what that's all about and all that stuff, but I do understand this. What you put out is what you get back.
Say that.
I love human beings, and I treat human beings with the utmost respect.
Say that.
And I ain't never had a bad day in my life.
Yeah.
I done had many things happen, but I ain't never had a bad day. My dad's brains were scraped off a sidewalk, you know, from dying on a motorcycle. And even through that day, a lot of things sparked from that day that helped me out through where he been helping me since then, and my whole family and our ancestors. Y'all just understand how you treat people is how God or whoever out here
That's the golden rule,
is
man.
making this
That's
thing
in the
happen.
Bible,
It's gonna
man.
treat you.
That's
dope,
man.
man.
Period.
That's the golden
That's
rule,
dope.
man.
You know, and
Treat others as you want to be treated.
And you know, as far as like, you know, that kind of stuff, the afterlife and all that, that ain't for me to say, but I do understand this. Man, if you want to start having a great life, man, start doing great by other people.
Yes.
And that's just with your mindset. And it's crazy because people will be like, man, I might be viewed as a sucker to some people, but I done been in situations where I supposed to have been shot, killed, on one instance executed.
Yeah.
You know, but one of the guys in the room said, bro, I know that dude. That dude you shoot videos for my homeboy. And he was cutting my homeboy a deal on the videos. Nah, we can't do that. I done had situations where I was supposed to be robbed for wearing chains and stuff in the wrong places. And one dude remembered me from trapped out when he came with his homeboy to the premiere. And he ain't never seen a black person do nothing like that. And he said, nah, cut him some slack. So what I mean by that is I done been kicked to sleep before, beat down and drugged through the mud, and I became friends with the people that did it because I learned the lesson. You know, out of any one of these situations, life ain't nothing but a lesson, and it's what you get out of it.
Yes.
Take that bad and turn it into good. And to say this about life and love and religion, I got a homeboy that grew up with me. That mama was a crackhead, daddy was a crackhead. That was hell on earth. You understand what I'm saying? That was hell on earth.
Absolutely.
And for you religious people, if you take 2 babies and put them in the middle of nowhere and don't have no civilization around them, stop telling everybody they're going to hell if they don't believe in what you believe in, because you telling me these 2 babies that were dropped in the wilderness with no God, no books, no nothing, our God is going to send them to hell because they didn't get baptized or they don't know him.
That's the wrong answer.
Then you know better. You know what I mean? So man, stop being religified and judging people, man, and just live the best life that you can live. If you want to help somebody, tell them how you did the right thing and it helped you. Not about all the negative stuff, because it don't really matter. Tell them, tell them how you made the right decisions and it worked for you. Because all the negative stuff, we pretty much bring it on ourselves. Killumbia USA was the starting point, and we're moving on. We are a production company now, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. Shout out to Doc. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to everybody that's a part of Killumbia USA. We got some new projects coming on. Off camera, you guys were asking me about Little Skippy.
Little Skippy. Let's talk about
Let's talk about Little Skippy.
All right, Little Skippy is a project that we're gonna have coming from the team. Me and Doc, who is my partner, Thaddeus, he'll come along one day, and talk with you guys. But basically, Doc is educated. He's an educated writer, and he's been educated in this film thing. I'm a street dude with it, and he just reached out to me like, this is a relationship for like the last 2 months, but he's gonna be the books and the power, and I'm gonna be the engine that pushes this company.
And you keep saying you a street dude with it. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that's a character trait. That don't define you, my nigga. You got way too much talent and way capable of way more shit. So I already know you know that, but I just wanted to point that out. Like,
I understand why you say it though, because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded, so you never sit back and as big as you might grow, you never forget. When
I say a street dude, when I say that, and let's get this clear, I had a fascination for being in the streets. I didn't have to be in the streets. If you grew up in Killumbia, if you grew up anywhere in South Carolina, you didn't have to be in the streets. Because we all grew up in houses, whether they were rented. Some of us had these apartments, but in the South we had families, so y'all could save that. You know what I mean? Y'all could save that. None of us had to do none of this stuff we doing because we got a slow economy. And we all could have got little jobs and went to the military. We could have went to school. So when I say streets, I mean a dude that was fascinated with wanting to be in the streets. So I put myself there, like everybody else puts themselves there. I had a homeboy that had, like I said, a mother and a father that were crackheads, and he made it out. I had a homeboy that the mother and father both were deceased, and he grew up and he made it out. So when I say a street dude, I mean I ran the streets, I played in the streets, I drug myself through bad situations. So when I say that, I say that to the dudes that are doing the same thing now and letting you guys understand. When I say a street dude, I'm saying that to remind you guys there's other things to do.
Boy, my head about to shake off my shoulder. He's talking so much truth right now, man. Go ahead.
So when I say that, I'm saying that the same way a person would say I'm a doctor. Continuously. I want y'all to know that from my standpoint, none of this street stuff was around when we were children. Our generation created what y'all call the streets. Because it wasn't no streets. And I'm gonna say this too, to try to end this thing off. It's our fault that you guys turned out the way you are because we didn't do any teaching. When we were young guys, the guys who were out there were older, and they told us, you don't hustle like this. You don't be around your mama house. You don't do this. You treat your woman right. You do this. Most dope boys from back in our era, if it was a dope boy, you saw them with their trailer or their house, with their kids, their nice car, and their woman. And that's what you saw. And they took care of their responsibility. We didn't show you guys that part. We only showed y'all the getting money part. We didn't show y'all the responsible part. So
everything else.
You saw us with a pistol, but you didn't realize, we didn't teach y'all that we only pulled this thing out when you threatened that family.
That's word.
Super OG shit.
So I wanna say I forgive you to a community that I destroyed. I wanna say I forgive you to a community that I didn't teach these young dudes. Prime example, I pulled up on some dudes from my neighborhood, and they were down in the woods, 12, 13 years old, and they had guns. And I was like, man, what y'all got these guns for? Y'all tripping. They was like, man, when them dudes come by, man, we gonna shoot them up, man. You know what I'm saying? They messing. I said, what, y'all in the gang? They was like, yeah, we created a gang, and if they come, I didn't even address it. I didn't try to stop it. I didn't say, my area, they would have slapped us and took our guns. I pulled our gun out and took them. It was just a different, the OGs back then wouldn't have stood for that. We didn't teach these guys anything. We only showed them that we was getting money. and you know the state itself with those big sweeps that happened in the '90s. You know, it took our sense of respect and respectability, and we just left these young dudes out here with nothing but drama and chaos. And that's not what Killumbia USA is about. Killumbia USA is about a bunch of people that enjoy filming.
Word.
That it has nothing to do with us trying to make a political standpoint or us trying to be the gangsterist people that we know, because these people are actors. Now, to end that note, we get back on Little Skippy. Little Skippy. Sometimes, man, when you're studying your craft, you can understand kind of where you're from and what your limitations are. And I wanted to do something that was along the lines of something that urban kind of hood people, black people would enjoy.
Yeah.
We make the world go around. Whatever we say is dope is what everybody else gonna latch on to.
You're right about that.
You know, when it comes to music,
say that,
television, or whatever.
Man.
So I'm fond of, you know, horror movies and stuff. And I went to see the new Chucky at the movie theater, and I was like, man, it would be dope if Chucky had a black homeboy.
A little Skip, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
if, you know, like if he had a little homeboy, like you know, they showed The Bride, they showed all this other stuff. But imagine if, cause I remember this little Leprechaun movie back in the days, man. He used to have black people tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? We love that. And I was like, yo, I want to do something with you know, with a doll. I want to do something for the urban community, for the black community, with our own little doll that we could turn up on.
Okay.
So basically, I hit the internet, man, and I started looking for dolls that I possibly can use. So I was like, yo, you know, I'm gonna do a Chucky doll, and you know, get somebody to put some more hair on them, change them up a little bit. Then I started writing the script like it was a Chucky doll. Honestly, I wrote the script like I was writing for Chucky.
Yeah.
So when I started really looking at it, I was like, man, Chucky too small. Chucky only like this tall. You know, he's only like this tall.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I don't have the money. Like Hollywood, they use midgets to play Chucky for certain parts. I don't want to say midgets, small people. I'm sorry, you guys. Midgets. You know, we're from the South. We say midgets.
I was just watching Willow and Pecs.
Right. I don't
man, we
none of
just
that.
messing with y'all, man.
Say little people or dwarfs.
Word.
So I knew that in sizing, because when I watched, they said they made everything 70% bigger. I don't have the money to make a couch 70% bigger than a small person.
That's word.
So I decided that, you know what, I got a grandson. I got a 5-year-old. Wait a minute. I can get them running around.
Damn right.
and film them and put the same clothes on them as I put on the dog. So now I ain't got to pay all that money.
Yeah.
So
use your head, man.
So
hey, boy, that's what's up.
Keep it gangster. So so Doc reached out to one of his friends that does you know, he does some stuff in Hollywood. If I mention people, these are not regular people. I don't deal with regular people. I deal with extraordinary people.
That's word.
Doc knows this guy in California that does some stuff for Hollywood, and he was like, dude was like, yeah, I help you guys, and the only thing y'all have to do is, you know, get me the script. And I'm like, Doc, I ain't really a script guy, man. Here we go again with this word. I'm a street kind of guy. I don't know nothing about no scripts and all that. Doc said, well, Hollywood don't play that.
Word.
So you need to put a script together.
Damn right. Gotta get
I keep a pad with me and I stay writing. I ain't wrote the script yet. I just scribbling down. I know the whole movie in my head, but I was not able to put it in script form. So to make a long story short, I got sidetracked and I got down on myself. And I went into a cocoon, and Doc said he was going to pull me out. He did. So what we've come up with, Doc, don't kill me for this. We've come up with a group of 7 characters, and Little Skippy is one of the 7 characters.
Okay.
So instead of me having to do a full-length film, we're actually going to do shorts about 7 characters, and these characters are called the 7 Fallen. And these 7 fallen, this is not a religious thing.
Okay.
It's just 7 fallen people that have miraculous powers.
So like many stories.
Many stories.
Gotcha.
And each one of these dudes is going to be in the world, in the realm of the same person. So the first movie was going to be Little Skippy, but it's so many different intricate parts that we're going to use each one of these characters to have their own movie and their own short. But it's going to be like how we deal with Killumbia, but you're going to have 7 different people that you can follow through this series. The series is The Seven Fallen, and through this series, you're gonna meet Lil Skippy.
Exclusive.
You're gonna meet
Sweet.
You're gonna meet the Black
Podcast.
You're gonna meet the Black Flash. His name is Zig Zoom.
Okay.
You're gonna meet a werewolf female character
Okay.
that preys on dudes that like her because she got a fat booty.
I ain't never heard of a female
Werewolf with a fat booty. Now I tell you now.
A female werewolf is crazy.
Her name is Gazelle. You're gonna meet her. You're gonna meet Moses, who's actually a character in Killumbia that's supernatural. He's all these characters are eternal, and he's an eternal character that you're gonna meet. I pushed him through Killumbia, but you're actually gonna meet him. So the first story is actually going to be about Moses. He's Moses of the Fallen Seven.
Yeah.
And this is not something that I'm just talking about just to talk about it. This is something that we're actually putting in the work.
Y'all putting in the work.
So the last
got a proven track record on what you talk about.
The last 3 months, I've been doing nothing but stacking up my money and buying equipment. And that's what I want to say to you guys. I want to leave off by saying this. I had to write this stuff down so I wouldn't forget. First of all, shout out to the podcast. And like I was saying, you got to dream it. You got to dream it. And don't listen to uninspired people. All right? If they're not inspired, don't listen to them. If they say anything negative, anything, the smallest thing, stop listening and don't be rude, but just get away from them.
Amen.
Because they don't have vision. If no billionaire that you're talking to has negative thoughts all the time. No millionaire, no 100,000 there. Matter of fact, you don't know these people because we're surrounded by these negative people. Go talk to the owner of a McDonald's. Go talk to the owner of a Chick-fil-A, and they're not going to be upset. They're going to be happy and trying to figure out where the next business venture or the next trip they're going on is going to be.
Positive mindset. Positive mindset.
All right, I want to call this podologizing. Constantly studying. All right, constantly studying, and I want you guys to understand that you and I have YouTube College now. It's nothing under the sun that you can't get for free off of YouTube.
Knowledge in the palm of your hand.
All right, now remember that these are people, and a lot of these things are sponsored, but understand, a lot of these people went and spent thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school to end up doing a podcast teaching you something for free. So understand, go to YouTube school. Go to a bunch of different schools. I'm enrolled in like 20 different classes right now. Coloring, filming, production. I even watch what the assistants do and the people who fix the food and do the microphones because I want to learn every aspect of it. Terminology.
Take advantage of the technology that's out now, man.
Next thing is, and all these things are not necessarily in order. Remember your face card. Yeah. All right, remember your face card and understand that your face card ain't nothing but relationship.
Reputation 360.
Yes, sir. Believe that.
If you don't keep your face card clean, you might as well stop because people are not going to help you. Right. Everything is going to cost.
Say that.
Make your money work for yourself. Money is only a tool. I don't care if you make $300 a week, put $25 up.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't care what it is. You put something aside for your hustle so you can get tools.
Fuck gems. Hey, Paul dropping whole goddamn jewelry sets out there.
You got to be able to get your tools to do what you do. I'm in a room that got lights in it, speakers, microphones, equipment. You have to start putting something back to build your tools. If you don't have tools, then you're not going to be able to succeed.
Cost money to make money.
Don't talk it if you can't do it. Don't talk it if you can't do it. It's a waste of a conversation. Hey man, I'm gonna make this movie about spaceships and I'm gonna have Michael Jordan starring in it. Don't talk about it if you can't make it happen. All right, because it's just a dream that you're gonna keep on having that you're never gonna accomplish. All right, start smaller and build.
Yeah,
all right, start smaller and build.
Realistic with your goals now.
Move in faith. All right, move. And now we talked about that already. Move on faith and God's timing. All right. I might not have been able to do this interview a week ago or 2 weeks ago when we planned it, but I moved on God's timing and I got here when I could have got here.
Amen, bro.
And I'm saying that by saying 2 weeks ago I probably would have been in a head-on collision trying to make it here, and I didn't go through that because I moved on God's timing.
Yes, sir.
I was able to watch Mr. Bigman's interview and see where he was coming from, so I could know the right things to talk about.
Amen, man.
Amen.
And remember, man, no matter what, no matter what, that seed is not going to grow if you don't water it and put some sun on it.
Yeah.
Period. Put your work in, stay positive. Your work is the seed, your positiveness is the sun. You put it together, it's going to grow. Salute to the team. Salute to everybody. Salute to our higher beings. Salute to people that love people. And that's all I choose to rock with is people that love people from this point, man.
That's what's up, man. Paul, again, I am 100% humbled that you came on our podcast and shared so much news and information that a lot of people didn't know. I appreciate you coming through and giving us so much insight and behind the scene knowledge on the Killumbia whole net series. And I appreciate you giving us a little bit of foresight on what's to come with you.
Exclusive.
You know what I'm saying? Exclusive on the whole little skippy. Like, to me, dog, that's huge. Keep me in mind for a roll. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, everything you got going on is huge, man. I really want to say thank you for that. Before we move on, I want to say I had t-shirts for sale. I got the black ones. I got the white ones, as you can see. Holla at me, man. Everything, just keep in mind when I'm doing this ain't the profit. I'm trying to take the money and put it back into the podcast and do something a little different, a little better with it. Do I know what it is yet? No, I don't know. But it's good to have the resources to be able to say, you know what, I might want to spend it on advertising.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? And go forward from that.
Most definitely.
People who bought shirts, man, I want to say thank you to Harold Ransom. I want to say thank you to Marcus Banks. I want to say thank you to Cindy Cooper. I want to say thank you to Clayton Moore. I want to say thank you to Kevin Baker. I want to say thank you to my boy Top. I want to say thank you to my home girl and my homeboy Fly, Latasha Griffin, Breon Roberts, Simone Johnson, David Ken, my homeboy T, you know what I'm saying, and his old lady face.
Appreciate
my dog said, Jen and my homeboy said, Sean. Hey, I just want to say thank y'all for buying shirts, you know what I mean, and supporting the movement and being able to see where we trying to go with this. As you can see, I ain't trying to bring no bullshit guests on the show.
Yes, sir.
We bringing nothing but top-notch entrepreneurship, hip-hop, and inspiration so we can try to fuel what y'all got going forward, man. I got my homeboy.
Sock, what up, man?
Paul, again, I appreciate you coming through, man. It's the Sweet Podcast, man. Sound, wisdom, examining everyone's perspective, man. We probably gonna have to do a part 1 and a part 2 of this.
Definitely,
so
though.
If you ain't seen this part, that means you watched part 1. So this part 2 right here, you feel what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Hey, Sweet Podcast, man. We in here.
Carolina where them boys stack cheese.